Hello y'all and welcome. Today I'll be talking about Bitcoin. In this video I'll be breaking out what Bitcoin is, how Bitcoin works, and is Bitcoin the currency of the future or is it just one big scam? Well, I'll be going into all that in this video. At the end, I'll give my personal opinion on what my thoughts are on Bitcoin. And at the end, I want you guys to comment down below if you agree or disagree, or what you think the future of Bitcoin is. Or if you learned something new, still comment down below, share this video with a friend. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. What is Bitcoin? Before I could talk about what Bitcoin is, we have to understand something called blockchain. Now, I know this might sound a little complicated, but I promise you blockchain is very easy to understand. Now, I want you to imagine a chain of blocks lined up together. So individual blocks linked by chains. And what these blocks are is a piece of information, data that is stored in these blocks. Now, this piece of information or data could be anything such as the transaction that you use to pay at your local grocery store to buy groceries. This would contain the amount you paid, who paid for it, and the receiver and how much they received. This is what is stored in a block for a blockchain. And I want you to imagine the chain as where the data itself is stored. This could be, for example, a server or a database, or it could be someone's laptop. Now, this is what blockchain technology is. Blockchain is a really powerful technology because the security of blockchain is very enhanced. So for someone to be able to hack the data that is in the block itself, you have to hack every other data that contains the previous blocks linked to that one block. This makes blockchain very secure, and this is why a lot of people tout blockchain as a very secured way of doing transactions and just holding information and storing data in general. Now that we got blockchain out the way and able to understand what blockchain is now, let's understand what Bitcoin is, specifically Bitcoin blockchain. Now, what Bitcoin blockchain is just like I said earlier, is just a block of chains linked together. And each block contains a piece of information and data, such as an example of a transaction that occurred. But in the case of Bitcoin, for a transaction to occur, every block in the ledger has to verify the amount that is being transacted before it can be approved. So this means, so for example, let's say I wanted to send you one Bitcoin. In order for me to send you one Bitcoin, every other block in the transaction has to verify that first I have one Bitcoin to be able to send you, and then verifies who's supposed to be receiving that transaction. Now, this is very important because this eliminates the middleman, which are essentially banks when it comes to transaction being transacted. This is very important also because this makes Bitcoin decentralized, meaning that there's no one person verifying all the transactions. There's no one person controlling Bitcoin. Because it is decentralized, Bitcoin is scattered all across the world where it's been hosted. Bitcoin was designed to mimic gold. For those who are familiar with gold, for us to get gold out of the earth's crust, we have to mine gold, physically mine gold. But with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a digital asset, it uses computer power to mine Bitcoins. Now, Bitcoin supply is very important to understand also. Currently, there are 18 million Bitcoins circulating the world. The maximum amount of Bitcoin that can be supplied ever is 21 million. This is very important because Bitcoin was built to be deflationary, meaning that Bitcoin was built to increase in value over time due to the limited amount of supply, which creates digital scarcity, which is essentially mimicking gold, because gold is hard to mine. There's not a lot of supply of gold in the world, so the demand for gold is high, which makes the value of gold rise over time and consistently rise over time, which also makes gold a really good store of wealth and value. Same thing as Bitcoin is mimicked to do. It's meant to increase your purchasing power over time, so your money and value increases over time, unlike fiat-based system like the dollar, which decreases in value over time. Okay, so now let's get into if Bitcoin can be the currency of the future or not. For us to understand this, we have to understand what makes something money. And in my previous upload, I suggest you check it out. I talked about characteristics that make up money. And this is very important for us to understand moving forward in this video, because these are the characteristics we'll be looking at to see if Bitcoin can be the currency of the future. Let's get into the first characteristics. The first characteristic is durability. Durability meaning that it can last as money. Now, Bitcoin is durable because it is a digital asset and it cannot be destroyed no matter what. There's no stopping Bitcoin. There's no overpowering Bitcoin. There's no trying to control Bitcoin. It is definitely durable. Number two is portability. Now, Bitcoin is very portable because it's a digital asset. All you need is your phone or a hard wallet, something like a Trezor wallet where you can store your Bitcoins. Now, these wallets can be purchased online, or you could just have your phone with you to store your digital assets and use it as payments. It could be an all-in-one. It's very, very portable. Number three is divisibility. Now, Bitcoin is very divisible. You could divide Bitcoin into the exact transaction that you want to be transacted, and this is very important for us to understand. Number four is uniformity, meaning that it's the same shape, form, size, and everything. And because Bitcoin is a digital asset, it is the same shape, size, and form because it's digital, of course. Number five is acceptability. Now, this one is still on the cusp because it's not yet widely accepted. Bitcoin is not yet being transacted worldwide, but it's very important for us to keep an eye on this, because as this grows over time, this is going to drastically increase the value of Bitcoin. Now, number six is scarcity. This is by far the most important aspect of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin was created with limited amount of supply, it is very important to understand that when something is limited in supply and demand continues to grow, the value of that product or service or whatever it is going to continuously grow over time. Because Bitcoin is only going to have 21 million in the world circulating worldwide, the value of Bitcoin, some have said could grow to be $500,000, $200,000, $1 million. We don't know what the future holds for Bitcoin. Now, this brings me to my personal opinion on what I think Bitcoin, the future of Bitcoin could be. Now, I want to give a little quick story. So I got my first taste in Bitcoin mid-2017. And at that time, I believe Bitcoin was only $3,000. Now, at that time, there was a lot of hype around cryptocurrency. I'm sure some of us remember BitConnect.
Hey, hey, hey. What's up, BitConnect?
I thought I was supposed to be in a Lamborghini. You know, I was supposed to just, not be working. I was supposed to be rich, but, never mind. But that's not the point. But at that time, Bitcoin was only around $3,000. But now Bitcoin is steadily averaging around $9,000, $10,000. This is very important. It has such a great gain in such a short amount of time. And it's very important for us to keep an eye on this. Now, honestly, no one knows the future. I don't have a crystal ball as to see whether Bitcoin is going to be the future currency or not, or whether Bitcoin is going to be widely accepted or not. I don't know, but I do know a couple of things. I know that Bitcoin is a very good way for a lot of people in different countries that might need to escape the hyperinflation. For a perfect example, look at somewhere like Venezuela right now, where they're experiencing extreme hyperinflation, meaning that their money and the value of their money means nothing. I mean, you see videos of people using the money to create decorations around the house because the value is pretty much desecrated. This is very important for some people in that world, and some people might say, well, gold is a very good option, but in countries like that, gold were being confiscated. I mean, people's wealth were being snatched out of their hands by the government. And this is very important because something like Bitcoin in countries like that could come into play. We in the United States might not feel that right now, but there are always going to be countries out there who needs something like that. And who knows, in the future, we might need something like that. But I personally own Bitcoin. I look at Bitcoin as a long-term speculation for me, meaning that maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down. To me, it's very minuscule because I think in the long run, Bitcoin is definitely going to, over time, I believe, increase in value. Because it cannot be stopped. No government can stop it. And as long as people continue to believe in it and understand that this is a very good way to store your wealth over time, it's only a matter of time before over time this is just going to grow and continuously grow in value. Now, with that being said, I want to end this video and conclude it there. If you learned something new If you agree or disagree, comment down below. I want to hear everything. Share this video with a friend. It doesn't matter where you are, anywhere in the world. This is very important for people to understand and people to just be aware of that something like this exists. There's an alternative out there for people to be able to put their money into. Now, if you're young, you know, I'm not giving financial advice, but hey, it doesn't hurt to speculate a little bit of your money. But at the end of the day, the decision is up to you to make. Whether you believe it or not, we'll see in the future. I'm gonna leave this here as a way to come back in the future, to come back to this video and see if I was right or wrong. But we'll see. Who knows? No one knows. But thank you all. If you made it this far, you're a real one. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all on the next video.